Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headaches stack. Restlessness to hell and back.
Today, we're welcoming the newest generation of Honor's digital lineup, the all-new Honor 500 Pro. This time around, Honor is clearly pushing it as a camera-focused smartphone. What's interesting is that Honor is one of the few brands that has completely flipped expectations when it comes to portrait photography. Instead of reserving its best portrait features for the Magic series, Honor actually delivers its strongest portrait performance in the digital series. If you've watched our classic review of the Magic 8 Pro, you probably remember that while its portrait shots were decent, two key features were missing. And honestly, I still don't understand that decision. But that's the reality. To be fair, the Honor Digital series was never officially marketed as a portrait phone. Still, when you compare it directly, its portrait capabilities clearly outperform the Magic series. That's why today we're focusing on a camera comparison between the new Honor 500 Pro and its predecessor, the Honor 400 Pro. A quick shout out to my tech partner from China for sharing this video. A big thank you for making this possible. Hey everyone, it's Maiky from techmaiky. If you love staying updated with the latest gadgets, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our exciting tech content. As soon as we got our hands on the phone, we couldn't wait to start shooting portraits. Let's begin with the portrait camera interface. First of all the detailed rear camera beautification controls are still here. Right now, apart from Vivo and Realme, Honor is basically the only brand offering such fine-tuned portrait beauty adjustments, and this remains a huge selling point for Honor's portrait photography. What's more interesting is that these features are placed in the digital series. However, there's something you need to be aware of. The powerful AI portrait button from Honor's Yagoo portrait mode is still gone. And yes, I say still because it was already removed on the Magic 8 Pro. My personal feeling is that ever since Honor introduced film-style filters, the Yagoo branding has been gradually toned down. That said, I have to be honest here. Yagoo AI Portrait Mode is, in my opinion, the only truly outstanding feature in Honor's entire camera system. That's my judgment. By weakening it, Honor is basically hurting one of its strongest advantages. Of course, Honor isn't doing this blindly. Removing the AI button doesn't mean AI has disappeared altogether. After all, AI is central to Honor's brand strategy, especially making AI easier for users to access. Now, the 3 Yagoo portrait filters and the 6 film style filters all receive the same treatment. So where is the AI? Instead of a manual switch, AI now automatically prompts you based on the shooting scene. That said, this new AI effect is much gentler than the old Yagoo portrait AI. The processing isn't as aggressive and it doesn't force you to turn off background blur. Personally, I think this approach is reasonable. However, it does come with a drawback. Portrait post-processing is noticeably slower. If you take several photos in a row, you'll have to wait for them to process one by one. Since all these filters may require AI processing, shooting too many photos at once can even cause some images to miss the AI effect. You'll see a small loading circle spinning, and if a few shots don't look sharp enough, it's likely because the AI hasn't finished processing yet. I suspect this is related to the current beta firmware, and it's something Honor really needs to fix after the official release. Even with these issues, I still want to encourage anyone interested in this phone because the portrait performance on the Honor 500 Pro is clearly better than on the Honor 400 Pro. You can see this easily by comparing sample shots. Why does it look better? I think it comes down to 3 main improvements: clarity, color tonality, and skin texture. First, let's talk about clarity. As I mentioned earlier, this improvement is largely driven by AI. It's especially noticeable in film-style portraits. Standard portrait mode is slightly weaker in comparison, but now you can manually choose the level of background blur in standard portraits, which gives users much more control over how their photos turn out. Next is tonality, which mainly shows up in skin tone calibration. Even though Honor hasn't promoted any color-calibrated lenses, you can clearly see that the impact of ambient lighting on facial tones has been reduced to an almost negligible level. Overall, image quality has also taken a step forward. Contrast is stronger, shadows are deeper, and even clothing textures look more refined. The overall color style has been adjusted as well, giving photos a more artistic vibe. Does this change feel familiar to you? To me, it looks very similar to the imaging adjustments Vivo made with the X300 Pro. Honestly, I feel that Honor's current imaging direction closely follows Vivo's earlier development path. If things continue this way, Honor could easily become Vivo's strongest competitor in portrait photography in the near future. Interestingly, this difference becomes much clearer when you transfer photos from both generations to a computer and compare them side by side. If you only look at them on the phone, you might even think the 500 Pro looks more vibrant or slightly rosy. This is likely influenced by the new display and AI enhancement technology. And speaking of the display, I really have to point out how good Honor's screen is. When comparing photos on the phone itself, I often feel that Honor's shots look better than Vivo's. But once you transfer those images to a Vivo phone, they don't seem quite as impressive. That's because Honor's screen has very high contrast, making people in photos appear sharper and more vivid. I genuinely believe that if you try this phone in an offline store and take a few photos, you'll probably love the results. Now let's dive deeper into skin enhancement, because this is where the Honor 500 Pro makes a huge leap forward. Take a look at the person standing in front of the hamburger. Compared to the very smooth skin rendering on the 400 Pro, the 500 Pro shows much more visible skin texture. Of course, this texture is clearly recreated by software, but adding texture after smoothing actually makes the result look more refined and controllable. That said, I personally feel the default skin texture is still a bit too strong. I'd suggest Honor slightly reduce the intensity, as that would likely be more appealing to female users. After all, most people who use skin smoothing features tend to be women. Some people argue, why rely on AI at all? Why not just keep the original skin texture? I don't agree with that. If you remove beautification, you defeat the purpose of portrait mode. If you want absolute realism, just use regular photo mode instead of portrait mode. Features like beauty adjustment, face slimming, and skin smoothing are essential parts of portrait photography. You don't have to use them, but they absolutely need to be there. The Honor 500 Pro doesn't just make skin smoothing look more natural, it also smartly refines a person's makeup. Take under-eye bags as an example. A lot of young girls like to draw slightly exaggerated under-eye makeup to make their eyes appear bigger. But in real life, unless you're on stage or doing cosplay, that kind of makeup often doesn't look great in everyday photos. Sometimes it even feels a bit out of place, right? For this test, we asked the model to apply that exact style of under-eye makeup. If you look at the original photos taken with a DSLR, you can clearly see how the makeup actually looked. But once you switch to the Honor 500 Pro, those under-eye bags suddenly appear much more natural, with almost no obvious traces of heavy makeup. It looks like it's part of the face rather than something drawn on. This is because the Honor 500 Pro uses AI to tone down overly heavy makeup, including exaggerated under-eye bags and strong nose contouring. For girls who love cosplay style or influencer makeup, this is genuinely good news. You no longer need to worry about your makeup looking too heavy on camera, because the phone can automatically balance it for you. Just look at the eyes and the nose bridge. They appear soft, natural, and very pleasing. That's exactly the kind of result most girls are hoping for. This time, Honor has also added a new Slav filter to portrait mode. It was briefly shown at the Honor 400 launch event, but it wasn't actually available back then. Now it's fully implemented and comes with a pretty cool animation. You can enable it through the portrait tone settings or even directly from the watermark options. When you swipe through photos on this phone, the whole experience feels almost ceremonial. That said, I personally don't love the image processing style applied during the swipe animation. For the Honor 500 Pro, I think the best balanced option overall is the rich filter. When I was shooting street photos in Chengdu, it worked well in almost every scenario. Aside from Vivo's street photography filter, this one has become my favorite for street shooting. Now let's talk about the telephoto lens on the Honor 500 Pro. Don't dismiss it just because this is positioned as a mid-range device. Once you start zooming in, it can be seriously impressive. Take this distant tower, for example. I pushed the zoom all the way to 2200 millimeters, and it still managed to capture clear details. That's pretty hard to believe. While AI definitely plays a role here, it's still a noticeable upgrade compared to the Honor 400 Pro, which also had a telephoto lens. This time, we also unboxed the standard Honor 500. From the design alone, the biggest visual difference between the standard and Pro versions is the presence of the ultra telephoto lens. Naturally, we compared the telephoto performance between the two models as well. You can judge the results for yourselves. All right. That wraps up our incomplete imaging test of the Honor 500 Pro for today. Overall, this Honor phone does show clear improvements in imaging, especially when it comes to portrait photography. However, I think Honor is now facing a marketing challenge that's very similar to what Vivo went through in the past. Early on, Vivo hesitated to highlight its strongest advantage, portrait photography and instead focused on things like micro gimbals and so-called humanistic color tones. After all that, everyone eventually realized that portraits were Vivo's true strength. Vivo has since figured this out and now places portrait photography front and center. Honor feels a bit like Vivo back then. As you've seen in our samples, their portrait photography is already quite strong, but they don't promote it aggressively. Instead, they often compare themselves to Huawei and iPhone in areas like stabilization and resolution, which tend to appeal more to male users. I think there's still room for improvement in their overall marketing direction. The Honor 500 series should really be aimed at female users because they're the ones most likely to enjoy and benefit from what Honor phones do best. On top of that, Honor's integration with the Apple ecosystem is surprisingly solid, so they should be actively targeting female iPhone users as well. When we were out shooting, we showed many of the people we photographed the pictures taken on the Honor phone. A lot of them were iPhone users, and they genuinely couldn't believe the photos came from an Honor device. That reaction perfectly sums up the outdated impression many people still have of Honor, that it can't take good photos. Understanding and changing perceptions around mobile photography takes time. We hope Honor continues to improve and refine its approach going forward. If you're interested in mobile imaging, especially portrait photography, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more in-depth tech reviews and join our tech team. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.